In the first of four, Dallas Keuchel gets the ball in what figures to be a tough one against the Tribe's Carlos Carrasco. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. We're just 4 games now tonight into this road trip. 10 games on a road trip can always be tough, Blummer. When you lose 2 of the first 3 and you're in first place, does that add any more pressure to the club?
Oh, I'm sure it does. And they're going into a tough stretch here on the road, and it's a doozy losing those first 2. It was tough in Boston, but the only blessing is that we are out of Boston and we are here in Cleveland looking on to a new series.
First of 4 here in Cleveland. Yesterday, though, we'll just touch back on it. Yesterday was amazing. Some of the things that went on, defense, pitching, the hitting, it was quite a game.
Yeah, there was actually some clutch defense being played. Jake Marisnick charges the ball well. Hanley Ramirez decided to challenge him. Maybe missed out on the scouting report, gets hosed at third base. But these are some great plays in clutch situations. Runner at third, Marlin knowing who's running at third with Hannigan, took a chance going home. Castro picked him up. And this play right here for me might be the play of the year for Jake Marisnick. He's already got a handful of highlight reel type catches, but that one was unbelievable.
On the offensive side, there were some big moments as well.
Carlos Correa again in that 3-hole, coming up in some key situations. Keep in mind the kid's only 20 years old and we're putting a lot of expectation, but he keeps stepping up. That home run right there tied it up, but this one right here, the caveman going on top with the War Club, tomahawking that ball out of there to get the Astros ahead. So some clutch hitting, good defense, just the bullpen let him down in the end.
Coming up, it's a clash on the Cuyahoga with all-star implications tonight as 2 of baseball's hottest pitchers face off in Cleveland. Blummer and I break down Dallas Keuchel and Carlos Carrasco when we return. But at Progressive Field, getting set for the first of 4 between the Astros and the Indians. Big game for Houston because the Astros now, having lost 2 out of 3 to start the road trip in Boston, see this thing tightening a bit. The Angels continue winning recently. They're just 3 games back. The Rangers have started to struggle a bit. Then there's Seattle and Oakland. So that division can go any way, but the Angels are putting pressure on the Astros for the moment. And now tonight, what a pitching matchup set to go tonight. Dallas Keuchel has been red hot his last couple of outings, and Carlos Carrasco almost threw a no-no last time out.
And you can see both these guys tied for first in the American League with 10 wins. It's going to be a great matchup. Both pitchers coming off some great starts in their last outings also. The whip is low. Batting average a little bit higher for Carrasco. Seems to find that barrel, but that wasn't the case in his last start. Dallas Keuchel, though, doing a great job. The last 2 starts, a complete game shutout against the New York Yankees at home in Minute Maid Park, showing great command of fastball and slider on that inside corner, making him able to set up that changeup, which he did a great job with. But then came back against Kansas City and had 8 shutout innings also against them. So 2 tough teams to go up against. Another tough matchup tonight.
He always seems to be up for the big games. Carlos Carrasco has become certainly one of the big men for the Indians and pitching great baseball.
I think he's doing a great job. That last outing, you see the numbers, what he did, giving up 1 hit. But what he did is he induced 30 swings and misses against that Tampa Bay team. The last time that happened against anybody was back in 2012. So this guy's got great stuff. And remember, he faced the Astros the first start of his season, pitched well, see if the Astros can make the adjustment and maybe attack a Carrasco this time here at Progressive.
Coming up, the votes are in, and the American League's all-star second baseman will lead Houston into battle against Carlos Carrasco. We'll get Altuve's reaction from Julia and talk about the all-world combination developing in the Astros infield. Coming up next.
The whole organization for everything they did for me. Yeah, this is my 3rd All-Star game in 4 years, and it's a big deal for me. I'm really happy when the time's got. But this one's a little different because it's gonna start, and I have to have a good game and to help the American League team to win.
That was Astros All-Star Jose Altuve just minutes after finding out that he had been selected to start for the American League in the All-Star game coming up just next week. Welcome back to Progressive Field as we get ready. Jose Altuve extremely excited to represent these Houston Astros, and the team extremely excited to have him represent the Houston Astros. He's everything that these Astros are, as well as he's been playing so far this season. Of course, the reigning batting champ from 2014, and he's done it all again this year. He's been the catalyst for this offense. You see his numbers, since last season. Incredible numbers. The stolen base is a big part of his game, and he leads the American League right now in steals so far. But a lot of fun to watch this guy. Team very happy. A.J. Hinch extremely happy, saying this means a lot to Altuve. Altuve's not the guy to take any kind of credit, but this does mean a lot for him, and it's been fun to watch him transition into a superstar. For more, I'm going to send it up to the guys in the booth. Ashton Blummer, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, Julia. And yeah, that's a great piece on Jose Altuve in particular, and very deserving to make the All-Star team. I think, Blummer, anytime you can have a teammate make the All-Star squad, it's a big bonus for any club.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's an exciting time, and you heard about it on the plane last night with A.J. Hinch making the announcement in front of all the guys in the back of the plane. So I think it was a team deal, knowing that Jose made that All-Star team. I'm sure they may have one more.
Yeah, I imagine Dallas Keuchel might work his way into that All-Star game. We'll see about that. But for now, it's all about the lineup. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by Preston Tucker. He's in right. And at shortstop, of course, Carlos Correa, the middle three. DH Evan Gattis. In left field, Colby Rasmus. And Chris Carter's at first in the bottom three. Marwin Gonzalez had a nice day yesterday. He's at third. Doing the catching, Jason Castro. Jake Marisnick, what a day all around he had in center field yesterday.
Carlos Carrasco going for the Cleveland Indians. Approach. If you're a right-handed hitter, you want to shrink that outside corner on both sides of the plate. Righties have a tough time hitting the slider from Carlos Carrasco, so focus on that middle end. Get you a fastball. Smash it if you can. If he hangs that slider, you're more than ready to hit it. Left-handers in the same way. Take away that changeup on the outside corner, because if it starts on that outside, usually fades off that outside. You want to have them lay off, because Carlos Carrasco definitely has swing and miss type stuff, and the Astros swing and miss quite a bit.
Astros lead the league in strikeouts as a team. Jose Altuve gets it started, taking a pitch high. Carlos Carrasco, you might recall back on the second game of the season for the Astros this year, they were opening against the Indians. It was Carrasco in that second game able to pick up a win against Houston. Pitched very well. Evens the count at a ball and a strike here on Altuve. Last time out for Carlos Carrasco, almost one of the most special games you can have. He came within maybe one strike of a no-hitter. He was at Tampa Bay. Altuve with a 1-2 count. Struck out 13 in that game, earned his 10th win on the year. And there's some of the numbers as he picked up one of those wins lifetime against the Astros on day 2 of the season. Indians and Astros. Indians wound up winning 2 out of 3 in that series. But back to that game for Carrasco last time out. 2 outs, 2 strikes into the 9th inning. And then Joey Butler lined the 0-2 pitch into right field in Tampa Bay for the Rays, and that broke up the no-no, but did not stop Carrasco from having a great game. Ground ball left side, that's backhanded by Lindor, but he will not be able to get the speed of Altuve. Infield single to get it started. So the All-Star second baseman has himself a knock already. Nobody out for Preston Tucker.
15 games in a row, 14 games in a row for Jose.
14 now, I believe, for Jose.
Nice, good job leading off this game. Anytime he has to make an infielder range for the ball, there's usually a pretty good chance he's going to beat it out. Always running hard.
Well, there's your infield knock to get it started, and the hitting streak in tow. Preston Tucker at the plate. Preston hitting .234. Good swing at the high heat. It is 14 in a row for Jose, so yeah, you already kind of get that monkey off your back. Start getting in double digits with a hitting streak, and it's on your mind, no question about it. Infield shallows up a bit at short and second. Lindor and Kipnis. There goes Altuve. The pitch a strike, the throw down a strike, and they got him. Johnny Gomes, the catcher, has been throwing well for the Indians this year and continued that trend with this throw.
Sure did. Normally it's a little bit closer for Jose Altuve when he gets thrown out, but this one easy. Probably not the best jump from Jose either, but a great throw. Like the way the shortstop Lindor straddled that bag, let the ball come to him, and just dropped the tag.
So 1 out. And 0-2 the count on Preston Tucker. The Astros love to employ that running game. They continue to be first in the American League in stolen bases. But the caught stealings have started to mount a bit. That's the 22nd time they've been caught. They've stolen 68 to lead the American League. It's a very loose manager right there, and just ideal for the players. You lose 2 out of 3 in Boston, and he's just trying to keep it with the guys. Hey, it's a new day. Every day you wake up, it's a new day, and go out there and play the best baseball you can play. One and two the count now on Preston Tucker. And you see that Carrasco throws very hard, 95 on that fastball.
How about the movement too?
It's a good run, huh? Tucker with 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. There's that running action, and a second base hit of the night as Tucker hits it sharply on that left side. It kicks into left field. So back-to-back singles, but 1 out, and Carlos Correa comes to the plate.
A couple of hits in that Boston series for Preston Tucker were going the other way. Seems to be making a little more of a concerted effort, but got himself a fastball up out of the plate. Does a good job of going with it, and he's hitting it that way with authority too.
Ball very sharply hit, you bet. And he's shown that with the club, that he stings the ball going to left field. If he continues to make that a part of his approach, you would certainly believe that he'll cut down on any lengthy slumps. Carlos Correa, 7 home runs, .315 the batting average. He's driven in 19, and a lot of talk now starting to mount that Correa should be considered for the All-Star team.
Can't you argue that he might be one of the best, if not the best, shortstop in the American League?
I think you could easily make that argument. The question is, even though I don't think anybody would question what you just said, do they feel like it's too soon to name him as an All-Star? Kind of a mix of arguments there.
Well,
how would you feel on that? He's named to the All-Star team.
I'm biased. I love the kid. I'd love to see him. And I guarantee you there's a lot of fans around the league right now that would like to watch him play in an All-Star game.
He's as fine a player as you'll lay your eyes on. There's that good sinking fastball.
I think Carrasco does a good job with right-handed hitters with that run we've seen on his fastball, working that inner third and then going to that slider on the outer third. But if the Astros can catch up to that heater middle end, it could change the game plan.
Nice job by Gomes to keep it in front. I think a moment ago I called him Johnny Gomes. That's Yan Gomes. Brazilian-born player, and the first position player to come out of Brazil. One out here in the first inning. 3-1 the count on Correa. Preston Tucker edges. He does not go, and the pitch fouled down the right side. Carlos Correa not immune to the strikeout, but not a guy that strikes out a load. Any inclination to try to run for a second time here in the inning?
With this guy at the plate, yes. He finds a gap. Preston Tucker scores easy.
Tucker goes, and the pitch right on the hands, grounded foul.
Get a chance. We're going to take a look at our strike zone. It's going to be presented by MD Anderson. See where some of these pitches are. See those fastballs on the inner third. Continuing to throw that fastball boring in on the hands.
Preston Tucker is yet to steal a bag this year. Held on at first by Santana. Again, Tucker goes. The pitch is ball 4. That'll put runners at first and second. 1 out for the cleanup man, Evan Gattis.
3 consecutive hitters reaching against Carrasco early on. Astros making their adjustments. We are here at Progressive Field for the Indians in the outfield. Mike Aviles in left field. Michael Brantley in center. Brandon Moss out there in right. On the left side, Giovanni Urshela at third base, Francisco Lindor at short, Jason Kipnis at second base, and Carlos Santana at first. And we already mentioned Jan Gomes with the caught stealing already, working with Carlos Carrasco.
We also mentioned that first outing of the year for Carrasco, that game 2 against the Astros, picked up a W. 2-0 win the Indians had over Houston. 6 1/3 innings of 3 hit ball, no runs against Carrasco. So the Astros no doubt have that in mind, trying to find a way to beat this tough right-hander. Of course, one way to do that is to send Dallas Keuchel to the mound. Terry Francona, that outstanding manager for the Indians. Gaddis, a big swing, comes up empty. It's 1-1.
Good rip. Took the fastball away for ball 1. Gets a fastball middle in. Gave it a good hack.
Evan Gaddis, 14 dingers on the year, 50 RBIs. Been a valuable guy. Hot shot up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Tucker being waved home. Throw to the plate. And that's not in time. The Astros jump on top on a third hit here in the inning to go with a walk. So Carrasco yet to retire a hitter. RBI single Gaddis. Astros lead it 1-0.
The RBI machine, Evan Gaddis. Gets him a fastball. Shoots it back up the middle. Michael Brantley, we saw he has 7 assists on the season already. Gary Pettis challenging him with Preston Tucker. But with that ball being immediately hit on the ground, easy read for Preston Tucker to put his head down and score. It's a good sign. Astros scoring early.
1 out on the caught stealing of Altuve. Colby Rasmus stands in, playing in left field this evening and batting in the 5 spot. Shift on with Colby at the plate. That lead runner at second is Carlos Correa. And Carrasco falls behind. 51 RBIs for Evan Gaddis. That leads the club. And Evan Gaddis has hit safely in 7 straight. One and one on Colby. Just getting back to full strength after having that skin rash. Having been bitten by something, presumed a spider.
We're still searching for it.
I hope it wasn't in one of the beds that we were recently in.
Definitely wasn't in ours.
Yeah, I guess that was a dangerously posed question there.
It's open interpretation.
Yeah. Preston Tucker getting the second of the 3 hits here in the first inning. And now 3-1 on Colby Rasmus. So Carlos Carrasco is struggling here in the first inning. And that's good news for the Astros as they get their first run of the year against Carrasco.
It's always interesting to see how guys pitch after having such a performance like Carlos did last time. 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit given up.
3-2 now. 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th inning. Yeah, that's a rough way to see one get away. Guy by the name of Joey Butler lined a single into right field. It was the 9th ever no-hit bid broken up with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Shouldn't say ever. Since 2002 there have been a bunch. Drive to center field. That's way back and over the head of Brantley. That's going to score at least 1. It bounces up over the wall. It'll be a ground rule double. RBI for Rasmus. Runners at second and third. Still 1 out. And the Astros on top 2-0.
Too bad that ball jumped up into the trees out there in center field. I would have liked to have seen Evan Gaddis get on his horse, score from first base on that double. That ball was smoked from Colby Rasmus. He is a good fastball hitter. Middle down away, does a good job at getting extended. And the first step from Michael Brantley in center field was actually toward the infield. Therefore unable to make up the ground.
Quickly a meeting at the mound now as Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, is out there. The entire infield gathering around. Here's what Blummer's talking about.
See the first step in, and then, oh man, that ball is crushed and I've got no chance. Not a good feeling. Not sure he would have gotten there anyways if he got a good jump. That ball was smoked.
Michael Bourne would generally be the center fielder for the Indians, so Brantley, who is typically a left fielder, certainly got fooled on that ball. But again, the Indians and Carrasco in particular maybe catching a break as that ball bounces out of here. One out for Chris Carter. And I think you have to feel like you need to get at least one more run here in this inning.
Oh, it would be beautiful if Chris Carter could just lay the barrel on one right now and get up into the seats. How happy is a young Dallas Keuchel going to be?
Imagine being on the Indian side and realizing it's already 2-0 and Keuchel is yet to hit the hill. It was Dallas Keuchel back on opening day this year, beating the Cleveland Indians. That was the one win in the 3-game set the Astros took away from that series. It was Dallas Keuchel leading the American League in ERA.
Ooh.
Ball and a strike on Chris.
Good swing. But I think if you're going to try and get Carlos Carrasco, here is the place. Progressive Field. And the beard is in full support here. That is a beautiful thing. The beard is traveling now. It's contagious.
It does look like it can be contagious. Fly ball right center field, and that's deep. Moss going back. He'll make the catch right at the edge of the warning track. Tagging and scoring from third is Evan Gattis. Moving into third, Colby Rasmus. 3-0 Houston. 2 down here in the first inning. RBI sac fly by Chris Carter.
Good piece of hitting. That's what you like to see from Chris Carter. He's got to be one of those RBI guys. And now with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Constantly harping on it. Does a good job of driving this ball deep enough to get Gattis in. And I mentioned Carrasco's numbers here. That Progressive came in 8 starts with a 4.57 ERA here at Progressive. Great inning.
Chris Carter now has 41 ribbies. This is a great inning for the club. After losing 2 of 3 in Boston, you could have that tendency to feel a bit of a letdown starting out this road trip. None whatsoever here in the first at Cleveland. And if you can beat Carlos Carrasco and the Indians in game 1, you would feel like that would be a nice lift here in the series.
That would be great, especially in a 4-game set. If you can get into that Indians bullpen early, makes for a long season for the manager.
In that opener on the season, Dallas Keuchel went 7 innings of 3-hit balls, shutting out these Indians. That tapper goes foul off the bat of Marwin Gonzalez. So a 3-hit shutout effort over 7 innings. As Dallas picked up his first of what now is 10 wins, trying to make it 11 wins before heading to that All-Star game. And a lot of talk about, of course, it hasn't been announced yet. I think it would be a given that Dallas will be on the All-Star team for the American League. But will he be the starting pitcher? And you could make some great arguments for that.
Yeah, the choices for Ned Yost are plenty on the American League side.
Two balls and a strike on Marwin Gonzalez. We showed it on the open of today's game, but Marwin made a whale of a play yesterday, getting that out at home plate in what was a hard-fought, tough game with the Boston Red Sox.
What I appreciate about that play is, of course, the athleticism is there and the ability to make that play, but he knew the runner at third base and he had a chance at home. It was great.
And now 3-1. Carrasco really struggling here in the first inning. Now let's name some of the guys in the American League that might be throwing their name in the hat to be one of the starters to open things up. Along with Keuchel, there would be Felix Hernandez. Another 10-game winner is Carlos Carrasco right here. Mark Burley, Garrett Richards, Chris Archer, and a strike called. It's now 3-2. Sonny Gray.
Keuchel has been announced as an all-star, which I know is shocking to a lot of people.
Oh, that's got to come as a big surprise.
Now we're just sitting on pins and needles waiting to see if he gets that all-star start. You have 2 Astros in the starting lineup because that guy's in there.
So Dallas Keuchel 10 wins. That ties for the most in the American League with Felix Hernandez and Carlos Carrasco. Dallas Keuchel leading the league in ERA at 2.03. High fly ball down the left field side, slicing toward the seats and leaning in, trying to make the play is the left fielder Mike Aviles. Can't quite make it.
Heck of an effort. I think he actually got a glove on it before it fell out as he went into the stands. But that might be some of the breaks the Astros are looking for, because they got no breaks out there in Boston.
Yeah, that was a tough series.
Oh, just out of the end of the glove. Great effort.
Van tries barehanded to make the play. I don't know if that would impact a player trying to make this one. Probably more that railing and even the tarp there. Popped up back of the plate. Gomes comes back, runs out of room. Chris Archer, Sonny Gray, Felix Hernandez, Dallas Keuchel, David Price, and Chris Sale have been named as starting pitchers on the American League squad.
Ooh. Are you really going to go wrong with any of those?
So, yeah, you couldn't go wrong naming one.
Just pick your poison. Do you want a guy who gets you a lot of ground balls, Dallas Keuchel, and has the lowest ERA in the American League? Do you want Chris Sale, who punches out everybody in the major leagues? Chris Archer's been dealing.
Line shot down the right side. That's extra bases. Scoring easily. Rasmus holding with a single is Marwin Gonzalez. Great job by Brandon Moss in right field to get that back quickly. It's an RBI hit. It's 4-0 Houston. And that celebration in the dugout is happening early.
What a difference a change of venue makes. Saw a couple of quotes from A.J. Hinch. He was pretty excited to get out of Boston with the way things went there. But right now, it looks like the Astros offense is just supremely stoked to be here in Cleveland.
Well, that's nice. We've been talking recently about how well Marwin has been swinging from the right side. He drilled this one from the left.
Look at the location on our strike zone. Down in that happy zone. Lefties like that pitch down and in.
See how Marwin didn't lift through it? He just stayed down, bent the front knee, and
stayed through it, I think, is a key phrase right there, Ash. Very
nice. Jason Castro has an 0-1 count. Strike on the inside corner. 0-2 on Jason. So, and back to Keuchel and the starting pitcher for the American League. I don't know what is going to sway the skip. Most wins, Keuchel, Hernandez, and Carrasco at 10. Best ERAs, Keuchel on top, Sonny Gray, Chris Archer, Hector Santiago of the Angels, and David Price. So, in either case, it would seem Dallas Keuchel would have the lead. That does it, as striking out to end the inning is Jason Castro. We take our look at Dallas Keuchel as he'll go to the mound with a 4-0 lead. First of 4 between the Astros and the Indians from Progressive Field in Cleveland. That lineup for the Indians of Terry Francona. Jason Kipnis leads it off. He's had a great year. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, follows. Michael Brantley, who's in center field. Middle 3, Ryan Rayburn, the DH. At first, Carlos Santana, and Yan Gomes does the catching. The bottom 3, Brandon Moss, Giovanni Urshela, and Mike Aviles.
Well, there he is. 2015 All-Star Dallas Keuchel, making his 18th start of the season. Tremendous numbers all the way around, looking to continue a stretch of good games that he's had. 17 scoreless innings coming into this game.
And those are not just scoreless innings against anybody. Those are against the Yankees and the Royals. 9 shutout complete game victory against the Yankees. He beat the Royals in those 8 innings of 7 hit ball. And so he's just been red hot. Gets ahead on Kipnis and now evens the count. Jason Kipnis, as we mentioned, is having a fantastic season and certainly figures to be one of the American League All-Stars. Can see instantly he's made a change with that batting stance of his. 3rd best in the league with a batting average of .341, and the rest of the numbers are terrific. Ground ball up the middle. Carlos Correa is there. Makes a good strong throw to get him. First out of the night for Keuchel.
Well, now that he's on the All-Star team, we can rave about him even more than we already have. Check out where he ranks among American League starters. Those 10 wins, tied for first. The innings, that's something he really wants to even work on after throwing 200 plus last year. He wants to get more. ERA #1, batting average against #1, opponent OBP. My goodness, just keeps going on and on.
Francisco Lindor, the shortstop at the plate, takes a strike. When Dallas is on his game, he gets ahead, not by pumping in the middle of the plate, but by spotting it well, and then spots it like that, and oftentimes gets the call.
That'd be a good spot to get the call.
Looked like an awfully good pitch. The numbers on Keuchel are just stellar. 124 in the 3rd innings coming in. That's most in the league, and he's allowed just 88 hits. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
You know what? He doesn't allow errors behind him to create big situations. He's allowed 1 unearned run this year, but now falls behind 3-1 on the 2-hitter for the Indians.
Well, anybody that gets on base, his ground ball percentages are off the charts. This year he's at 65% getting those ground balls. So if guys get on base, he's like, no panic, I'll just get a ground ball double play, get out of this thing.
Ground ball left side, so Keuchel does what he does. Marwin makes the play. A couple of ground ball outs here to start things. 2 outs for Michael Brantley.
Get a chance to look around Progressive. Colby Rasmussen left. Jake Marisnick at center. Made a couple fantastic plays in Boston. Preston Tucker in right. On the left, Marwin Gonzalez picking up for Valbuena at 3rd base. Carlos Correa, of course, and Altuve up the middle. Chris Carter at 1st base, and Jason Castro. Got an easy job today working with Dallas Keuchel.
Well, what a luxury the Astros have with Marwin Gonzalez, who a lot of the times is sitting on the bench, quite frankly. But when he gets his chances, performs so well any position you put him at. Michael Brantley is a really good player, but I would imagine the Indians would like to see a little bit more in the numbers departments from Michael this year. It's been a doubles machine.
Put up great numbers last year.
He might have been a guy I would have picked to contend with Jose Altuve for the batting title this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's hitting .289. That's a nice season, but I think maybe expectations may have been for more. 4 home runs on the year. And he takes a breaking ball. Down looking for a strikeout for Keuchel. A 1-2-3 first inning, right on the heels of getting 4 from his offense.
Look at Jake Marisnick, who just joined the team a couple of days ago after being on a 15-day deal with a strained hamstring. They've missed this defense in center field, and we got to see it on his first game back. That's at the Fenway Park. A running full sprint catch into the Green Monster. Looked like it hurt. It was the loudest sound I think I've heard at a ballpark, but it was a huge moment for the Astros as he saved runs, helping out Will Harris on the mound at that point, and really changing the momentum. There were some big hits that happened right after that, but good to have Jake back and his defense back. He got pretty roughed up on that running catch, guys. I don't know if you got a chance to see his elbow, but he was bleeding, and it was tough. He had no idea the wall was that hard.
Yeah, that's a hard wall. We've kind of surmised that one. Jake Marisnick hits one in the air, right center field. Coming on to make the play is Brandon Moss. That's out number 1 here in the 2nd inning. For the 2 of us who have played the game on the major league level, I think we would say that that catch by Jake Marisnick up against the scoreboard in Boston could be one of the most difficult and dangerous catchers any outfielder will ever make.
That's it?
That's hard to believe that's all he got out of that catch.
That is miraculous, because like you said, Ash, knowing the danger that wall can have on a player running full speed into it, it's absolutely amazing. Number one, he made the catch, held on to the ball, and then survived being picked up by Evan Gattis.
Yeah, that's true. Ground ball hit to shortstop. That blown up for Jose Altuve. Second out quickly here in the second inning. I don't know. I don't know if this is a true statement or not. It's one that I kind of have a reaction to. I'd rather run into a concrete wall than that scoreboard with those slots and the way that scoreboard sets up in Boston.
Well, and that's the thing, is there are numbers being, like at home at Minute Maid Park on the Crawford box, those manual scoreboards where they slide it in from behind. But also the interesting thing about Fenway is that they actually hang the team signs from the outside. So there's a couple bolts hanging off there holding up the signs on the exterior.
And those flaps in the cutout areas, those can be depressed back in, so you could stick a hand in there. Your face could insert and not come back out. I mean, that's just a horrible thought as to what could have happened on that play.
Guys, as far as outfielders too, they'll on the road they'll go check out the outfield just to kind of see what they're working with. Jake had not been with the team until the night before. They did not take BP that morning. He had no idea what he was up against. So that was the thing. He said he was so surprised at how the wall felt. Had no clue what he was going into.
Well, maybe that was the best thing going for him right there.
Truly, yeah, because I think if he knew what he was getting into, he probably wouldn't have gone that far. That's a great point.
2 balls and a strike on Preston Tucker. 4-0 Houston here in the second. What a first inning against Carlos Carrasco. 5 Houston hits. There was a caught stealing in the inning as Altuve was thrown out. There was a walk and a sac fly when it was all said and done. Astros lead 4-0, and Dallas Keuchel has a 1-2-3 first.
Good take on that outside pitch. You see it away, let it go away. You can see the changeup fading. Now he's got himself in a good hitter's count where he can sit fastball.
Drive to center field. Brantley going back on the move. He won't get to this one. Up against the wall. Into second base with a 2-out double is Preston Tucker. He's 2 for 2 on the night, a single and a double. And hit number 6 for the Astros against Carrasco. That is news around the league.
Stepping to the plate for the Astros.
He's already given up 5 more hits than he did in the last game he pitched. But the Astros are not missing any of the mistakes they're getting from Carlos Carrasco. Great to see Preston Tucker driving the ball the other way and up the middle.
He can make quite a living out of that. He's a very strong young man. Carlos Correa at the plate. Speaking of strong young men, for Preston Tucker, his 14th double. Can imagine the Indians seeing that pitch in on the hands of Correa and the swing and a miss. Might think, well, maybe that's the way to pitch him. Take a look at some hot zones, heat charts on Preston, or on Carlos Correa rather. He can turn that pitch as quickly as anybody.
Now we've seen some people try and beat him in there, and he can turn on it if it's a strike. He can chase down and in off the plate, but if he stays disciplined, he got a good chance of drilling it.
They come back in, jam shot ground ball. Lindor with the play. They'll get Carlos Correa. That'll do it. Tucker, after the 2-out double, is stranded. It's 4-0 Houston. Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. And brought to you by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. Got some Astros fans here in Cleveland. Smallest crowd. In fact, the Indians are 15th in attendance at home this year in the American League. Good to see the Astros fans on hand. They are happy as the Astros lead at 4-0 after an inning and a half. Ryan Rayburn, the cleanup man for the Tribe, and the DH, leads off here in the second. He'll be followed by Carlos Santana and Yan Gomes. Dallas evens the count at a ball and a strike. Keuchel had a nice 1-2-3 first inning, a couple of ground ball outs, followed by a strikeout of Michael Brantley. And Keuchel made that frame look as easy as could be. Here's the inside corner. It's 1-2. And you were talking about it, Blummer. Dallas Keuchel has a way at about 90 miles an hour of hitting the inside corner on anybody. It doesn't matter if it's the biggest power hitter in the league.
Well, that New York game proved it for me when he threw A-Rod and Mark Teixeira fastballs inside, daring him to hit it, and they couldn't even pull the trigger. So that tells you he's got good location and command, but he can also set you up to go in there.
2-2 the count on Rayburn.
I think an interesting note on Dallas Keuchel making it to the All-Star game is that he was elected by the players.
There it is, right back on the hands.
It's always pretty cool for these guys who get voted in by their peers. Everybody around the league showing their respect to Dallas Keuchel.
Look what Dallas does against right-hand hitters.
And there's that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He throws it 70% of the time.
And he gets a strikeout at 87 miles an hour. Kind of tough to tell what he was doing there, but second strikeout now for Dallas as he gets the first out of the second.
Take a look at a pitch by pitch. Good fastball down in the zone, maybe a little generous, but immediately goes to that slider and gets it on the outside edge, and then just throws another one basically right down the middle, but took a little bit off it, created a bigger break on that slider. We get a chance to look at why that slider is so successful. And now for left-handed and right-handed hitters. So if you're a right-handed hitter, down and in. If you're a left-handed hitter, it's going away from you. And what I want to know, what I want everybody at home to see is how he locates that so well. There are no mistakes being left up out of the zone. That's through half a season. That's why the numbers are so crazy low against it.
Right back on the hands and cutting it a bit. So Dallas will run the two-seamer back, starting it inside, back to the corner, and then cut it the other direction. This is, I think, called mastery of pitching. 1-2 the count. And it started last year for Dallas Keuchel, or at least statistically started to show up last year. 12-9, a 2.93 ERA.
Take a look at our Supermo. It's going to be presented by Mattress Firm, and it's that last pitch to Brantley. You can see how he gets on the side of it, but just takes enough off that pitch. Brantley may have been looking for the harder, more firm pitch, but gradually breaks its way into the zone for the punch out.
And another strikeout, 3 straight for Keuchel. He gets it coming back in, down out of the strike zone. Santana is gone. It brings up Yan Gomes.
May sound a little weird to have us raving so much about Dallas Keuchel this early in the game, but we've been watching it all year long. And the ability to just execute pitches. But right now, so much is dependent on feel for pitchers, and Dallas Keuchel is feeling it.
And everybody's going to have little bumps along the road. Dallas Keuchel last year didn't have many bumps at all. It was pretty steady. There was a little spell where you could say he might not have been feeling it, but boy, he's been steady. Yan Gomes hurt early this year, and that's cost the Indians. We've already seen how he can throw as a catcher.
I think the best part about Dallas Keuchel last year, some names in this series you're going to see on the chase percentage on off speed there, but for Keuchel, even when he hasn't had his best stuff, he's not afraid to pitch to contact and work with what he's got on any given night.
You know what, I think watching that pitch right there, which looked like a very hittable pitch, guys that have great command will leave hitters thinking they're never going to see something in the heart of the plate, and then when a guy does put it there, they don't pull the trigger.
Well, you know, as a hitter, if you're looking edges and a guy pumps one down the middle, it kind of locks you up a little bit.
Line drive down the right side. That's the first hit of the night. First base runner for the Indians. Gomes digs for second. And it'll be a 2-out double for Yan Gomes. It'll bring up Brandon Moss. And that's probably the most intelligent way to go after Dallas Keuchel.
See the location on this one. On that outer third. Yeah, basically against Dallas Keuchel, sit on the edge of the plate and hope he elevates one. And that's what he did right there, is just elevated a fastball even though it was in good location.
Double number 5 for Yan Gomes. Brandon Moss at the plate. Moss has been a run producer. He's driven in 44 and leads the Indians in home runs with the 14 you see, but the batting average not a high one. He's one of those guys that slugs the baseball and drives in runs. Shift on, 3 infielders on the right side. Curveball is left up, stung to right field, and that freezes Tucker until he finally gets his sights and makes the play. So the Indians get their first hit, leave a man at second after 2, 4-0 Houston.
Your local Honda dealer, originally signed by the Baltimore Orioles, then traded to the Astros for Lee May, was the Astros MVP in 1978. Make sure you tweet your responses to @Julia Morales or @Blummer27, but you can also tweet it at Ash. People are dying to know that one. Cat Ash.
I just saw that on the board there. That's nice. It made me feel kind of proud.
You're going to be blowing up now.
Evan Gattis leads off by stinging one foul down the left side. Gattis had an RBI single in the first inning and scored run number 3 for the Astros. Gattis with 51 RBIs to lead the club.
He's had 50 RBIs since April 26th.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal in that span. Gattis swings through one. It's 0-2.
Already up in the bullpen, Hagedorn.
That's a tough situation for any manager. I'm sure Terry Francona would love to not have to do something like that. You were talking about it in the first inning. What a difference it makes when all of a sudden, especially on a night when you think you're going to get one of your strong starting performances, everything goes the wrong direction. A lot of people really love Terry Francona as a manager. Strike 3 called on Gattis. First out here in the 3rd inning. Second strikeout by Carrasco. Let's take a look at Preston Tucker on that catch.
He's dealing with all kinds of stuff. Probably some glare from the setting sun. New ballpark. Lights are on.
Line drive right at you as an outfielder, I think, can always be a tough play. Where do you go? Back, in? Do you stay put? One thing I've noticed with Preston Tucker, he does a nice job. He sets the eyes low when he's scuffling a bit, and I think that helps a guy. Colby Rasmus had a big hit in the first inning. He doubled to center field, driving in a run. Colby now has 27 RBIs on his season. And for Colby, 15 doubles.
So the guy that just hit his 15th double in this game tried to bunt with 2 strikes the other day.
With runners at first and second, and what was that?
I think it was just a runner at first.
Was
Maybe I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but still 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was confusing, and I think it confused a number of people.
I just think Colby's got too much pop to give in like that and try and lay down a bunt. Go ahead and let it fly.
Off the fist, fly ball to center field. Brantley comes on, and this is going to drop in front. Kipnis made an all-out effort to get there, just simply couldn't do it. So it's a base hit for Colby Rasmus. He's 2 for 2. And watching Brantley in center field, there was never any sprint coming in.
Getting some tough reads out there. Usually as an outfielder, you see the big swing and a guy lean back on it. You break back, but on Colby's previous double, you see right on that label, see him hold his ground a little bit. But yeah, didn't come in and attack it very much.
Chris Carter at the plate had a sac fly in the first. 41 RBIs for Chris. See that batting average. He has struggled under that 200 mark so much of the season. gets a pitch up and simply fouls it back. The Astros start the night 12th in the league in team batting average at .242. Continue to lead in home runs, 118, and in stolen bases. So they're a very intriguing team offensively. They strike out more than anybody. And Carter strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning, third of the night for Carrasco. That's 2 down, and brings up Marwin Gonzalez.
Now stepping in for Houston, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin had an RBI hit. That drove in the 4th run of that first inning. $19 ribbies for Marwin.
Having been in the role player type situation majority of my career, I really appreciate what Marwin Gonzalez brings to the ball club. But at the same time, I also appreciate how AJ's handling the situation. Marwin is swinging a hot bat. He's obviously a quality defender. But AJ, knowing that this kid's swinging the bat, throws him in the lineup. I think it's a great move. Showing Marwin the respect for working hard and laying hits out there. Keep throwing him out there. You got to ride him while you can.
Always kind of a juggling act, and Luis Valbuena had that hard slide at the plate yesterday as well, and so maybe that factored in. Hard to say. In fact, I heard a little banter on the plane yesterday. I think Valbuena was hobbling along in the aisle of the plane, and AJ was saying, you don't have to hobble to tell me you're not going to play the next day. And I think it was that little egging on, trying to see if a guy really was ready to play the next day. I don't know. I see so many things from AJ Hinch that just say this is the right man for this job. The guys love playing for him.
Well, and how about the luxury then of having a guy like Marwin Gonzalez?
Exactly.
Third baseman's a little beat up. Throw Marwin out there. He can do it.
On the fist, ground ball up the middle. Kipnis can't pick it up, and everybody's safe. And we'll see how this is ruled. It is a base hit, second of the night for Marwin. So everything for the moment going the Astros' way.
Yeah, they're definitely catching some breaks. Kipnis kind of in no man's land right there. Had to range far to his right. I'm sure he was thinking, do I try and get Marwin at first, or do I just flip it? And I think he was thinking about flipping it with the glove right here, and maybe got a little too quick trying to get Colby Rasmus at second base.
Let's check in with Julia real quickly.
Hey guys, you were talking about Valbuena right there. They actually did some x-rays on him this afternoon, revealed a sprained left great toe, so he's day to day. It might be a couple of days though. It was pretty sore after he slid into home, and his toe, which had already been giving him some trouble, went right into the shin guard, so not feeling real well today.
Thanks, Julia. In watching that play, I would not have guessed toe. I would have guessed something more like the shin, but
it's not just a toe, it's the great toe.
Well, the great toe, it's got more responsibilities than the others.
Sergeant Holka feel about that.
Jason Castro, strikeout victim in the first inning, has a 1-1 count. Yeah, with great responsibility. I don't even know where to go there, but well, you hope
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, you hope that Luis is fine and ready to play even tonight if needed.
Oh, I'm sure he could go up there and take a hack if you needed him to.
But again, Marwin 2 for 2 tonight. Opportunity with 2 outs to add more to this 4-0 Houston lead. I don't think a club ever feels like going into the next city like, oh, this is going to be easy. I think it always feels like, boy, you better play some serious baseball right now. But winning the first game can help turn that attitude a good deal.
Well, how about having such a tough series in Boston, then you head into Cleveland and you look at the rotation they're throwing at you and what they did their previous starts. Kind of has you wondering a little bit.
You know, the Indians thought they were going to be led by this pitching staff this year. And they are. They haven't been a good scoring team this year, but you do take a look at Carlos Carrasco, game 1, Corey Kluber, the reigning Cy Young Award winner from the American League, game 2, Trevor Bauer, game 3, and a youngster who's been pitching really well by a number of accounts, Cody Anderson, in game 4. it's not an easy assignment against the Indians.
Yeah, but winning that first game of a series is always key.
And strike 3 is called. Castro doesn't like it. Second time he's down on strikes tonight. And that'll do it for the Astros. Couple of hits, they leave a pair. It's 4-0 Houston.
MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Ash?
Julia? Yeah. Well, it's still early. Don't go to sleep too early here. Astros on top 4-0. Played 2.5. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Stros. Carlos Carrasco figured to be a very tough assignment tonight. The Astros jump on top, and now Dallas Keuchel trying to keep rolling on the hill. Keuchel has struck out 3. He's yielded just 1 hit. 2-out double in the second to Yan Gomes. And now it's Giovanni Urshela, the third baseman, standing in. 0-1 the count. Keuchel immediately getting ahead. It's a changeup, and kind of felt like you could see Dallas slow things down just a little bit there. Urshela hitting .263, a couple of home runs and 7 ribbies. There's the change again, right off the end of the bat, but lined down the left field side. That's the second double of the night for the Indians. This one comes leading off here in the 3rd inning, brings up the 9-hitter Mike Aviles.
Yeah, that changeup just kind of drifting back towards the middle of the plate. Was elevated. Urshela does a good job of keeping his hands back. Give credit where credit is due. Keuchel extremely tough with runners on.
Yeah, we were looking at some numbers, and a little bit surprising how Dallas has dominated at Minute Maid Park this year. He's pitched well on the road, but nothing like his work at home. For Urshela, that's his first double on the season. This guy's been around, and he's been a fine utility player for a while. 2 balls and no strikes. Aviles hitting .253. He's got some pop, 4 dingers, 5 doubles. So Keuchel falls behind 2-0. Comes with a nice breaking ball at the knees, outside edge.
Being challenged in that 2-1 count with fastballs, Aviles is.
Keuchel sinks that fastball down and away on the 2-1. And I would have to think, as a hitter, you think, boy, if I get ahead, that's when I might find something to hit, and then you get that pitch.
Well, in the second you try and step on home plate to square up a pitch on the outside corner, he busts you in.
So you can't cheat one way or the other.
Exactly.
Ground ball left side. That's a base hit. Perfectly placed in the hole. Moving just 90 feet is Urshela. First and third on back-to-back hits for the Tribe. And they've got something cooking here in the 3rd inning. Top of the order for Jason Kipnis.
Good location, just a better piece of hitting. Key on hitting that breaking ball sometimes is getting the head out in front of the plate. Sometimes you catch it before it ultimately breaks down and out of the zone. I'm sure Dallas would gladly exchange a double play ball for a run.
Jason Kipnis grounded out to shortstop his first at bat, and hitting a cool .340 on the year. You and I were digging in some numbers. Left-hand hitters against Keuchel this year are hitting 126. I mean, that's hard to figure.
It is hard to figure.
He doesn't seem like the Chris Sale kind of dominate left-hand hitters kind of pitcher. Fly ball hit to left field and fairly deep. Rasmus goes back to make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring is Urshela as the Indians get on the board. Sac fly Kipnis, and it's 4-1 Astros on top.
Kipnis is swinging the bat extremely well this year, so to be expected he's able to drive that run in, gets a pitch elevated, which is tough to do off Dallas Keuchel, is to get that pitch elevated to be able to drive to the outfield to drive that run in. But you can see this fastball pretty much center cut. Good AB to get that first run on the board.
Tightens things a bit here in the third inning. Francisco Lindor at the plate. Lindor grounded out to third base in the first. First two hitters of the night hit ground balls for outs. Keuchel has not gotten another ground ball out since. And if you see one of those nights where Keuchel isn't getting a lot of ground ball outs, does it say maybe not his best stuff, maybe not his sharpest stuff?
I'm not ready to say that yet because he still has the ability to hit those corners. But what we saw in the first two innings, good grief. 3 punch outs in a row, making some quality pitches. You got to give a little bit of credit to the Cleveland Indians making adjustments. But we talked about it earlier. We've seen Keuchel without his best stuff and still able to manage a ball game.
Some intriguing numbers on Dallas Keuchel. He's been much better ERA wise at home than on the road. 124 at Minute Maid Park. That's just almost immaculate. 314, which is good. That's what he's been on the road. The batting averages against home and road are not that far apart. Ground ball right side, a wide open right side with a shift on and a base hit. Third hit of the inning, fourth of the night for the Tribe. And now runners at first and second with one out for the dangerous Michael Brantley.
See where that defense is playing. You see Altuve playing a right-handed pull, not in a full shift on that left side of the infield, but playing well over towards second base. And another ball that's not hit that hard gets nudged through the infield.
So Lindor gets his first hit of the night. But again, batting average is close home and road for Dallas Keuchel. 193 at home, 201 on the road. So you wouldn't see much difference. But all 7 home runs he's allowed this year have come on the road. And he freezes Brantley on that breaking ball again. He struck out Brantley looking in the first inning on that pitch.
Good pitch to start the AB because that previous at bat he started him with a fastball down.
Well spotted, but off the edge.
Michael Brantley talked about that year he had last year. This is this season, spraying the ball all over the place. That down and away, likes to get extended. A lot of those pitches on those lower outer force over here are probably being hit up the middle the other way. Good hitter.
Pitch up is hit in the air, left center field. Marisnick is there. He'll make the catch. Second out of the inning, and now the cleanup man Ryan Rayburn comes to the plate. Rayburn struck out swinging. That was the second of 3 in a row picked up by Keuchel from the first to 2 outs into the second inning. Don't know if it's by design. Some pitches up from Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, but just that little cut. Rayburn having a tough time scoring it up. You would think he's seen that ball pretty good up in the zone.
We talk all the time about Brent Strom and his desire to have pitchers make sure and use that upper part of the strike zone. You mentioned that you heard from Woody Williams tonight, and many times over the course of the year. That was off the air. You were telling me that. But Woody's a guy that used to utilize the upper part of the strike zone a great deal.
Because he had an excellent breaking ball. He had one of those old-fashioned 12-to-6 hammers. But an intelligent guy, too. Yeah. Houston native.
Yep. Guy who had quite a career in the big leagues.
Top 5 teammate.
Yeah, top 5.
I better get a response, Woody.
Well, that says a lot. I mean, that's a lot of teammates through the years.
You ain't lying. No, he was one of the best.
One and two on Rayburn. And when Dallas is on, that's what he does. When he misses, it gives you pause for an instant. I think I saw a seam of that baseball hit the strike zone.
Good chance for Dallas.
Dallas comes in and Rayburn shows the quick bat. Who you got?
Well, it's Chuck.
Where's he from?
He's actually from Cincinnati. He made the drive.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, transplant. Used to be a Reds fan. Now he's with the Indians.
What's that, up 71? I'm trying to remember.
Wow, you're better than I am.
No, not necessarily. That was.
But you did play here. So.
That was a pure guess. You don't guess on your stuff.
No.
2-2 the count. Down on strikes Rayburn, second time tonight, and Keuchel gets out of the jam, yields a run after 3. It's 4-1. Astros on top.
Indians, as we go to the top of the 4th, looking for games on certain days of the week with giveaways, favorite rivalries, or maybe a little of each. With the Astros 14-game flex plan, you get to pick the games and seat locations that work best for you. Purchase your 14-game flex plan today by visiting astros.com/tickets or calling 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Carlos Carrasco works it into the 4th inning. 4-1 Astros on top. Jake Marisnick leads off. Jake flied to right field in the 2nd. Some kind of outfielder. And if he can become the hitter that everybody hopes, well, he could be a difference maker for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Man can go get it.
And we've learned that he can throw among the best in center field. There's a guy in Detroit, Anthony Gose, who has a great arm. But you combine arm strength and accuracy. Jake Marisnick is right there. Three and one. Altuve, Tucker, and Correa to follow. And a low strike called, so that fills it.
Take a look at the strike zone, see where this location is. All right. You want to hit as a hitter.
So he gets a shot and drives one into the gap in right center field. Base hit for Marisnick, leading off in the 4th inning. What kind of word do you have on the final voting for the All-Star game?
Got some big numbers, some big players. Ends up being 4 Kansas City Royals making that ball club. Miguel Cabrera is out with that calf injury, and from what I read, Albert Pujols will take his place. But how about Mike Trout getting a majority of the player vote? A lot of guys, a lot of peers like watching him play, but pretty solid squad if you ask me.
Yeah. I think Josh Donaldson might have edged Trout out for the fan vote, which is, I don't know if that's a surprise. Mike Trout's kind of that favorite of so many people.
But there's been a lot more highlights of Josh Donaldson this year than I think even in years past, with all the defensive efforts he gives, and plus hitting in that hitter-friendly ballpark up there north of the border.
A Toronto Blue Jays team that just could surprise this year. Altuve hits it sharply, but at the third baseman Urshela, he gets it out at second, and they get the double play. 5-4-3. So quickly 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And Carrasco is starting to settle down. That was a nice play by Urshela.
It was a nice play all the way around, playing in. Really the only chance they had to turn this double play because Jake Mrazek was bearing down on Kipnis. And Altuve can run a little bit. Nice turn.
First double play on the night. Base is empty for Preston Tucker, who has singled and doubled. Carrasco, winner of his last 2 starts, beating Tampa Bay and Detroit. 3 of his last 4. Eight of his last 10. And we talked about the fact that Carrasco at 10-6 is tied for the most wins in the American League, tied with Dallas Keuchel. Popped up right side, back toward the seats, and that'll find the seats. But in terms of those wins, you don't want to forget King Felix Hernandez. So those 3 guys with 10 wins. Boy, there's a lot of good starting pitching you can utilize.
This guy's pretending he's in Houston.
You know, it's warm, but it's not quite that kind of hot.
Either that or he missed the pop-up and he's icing where it hit.
I wonder if that's it.
He's still in World Cup mode and tried to head it.
How about that 50-yarder yesterday?
That was a bomb. What a great game. It's going to leave a mark.
Pitch hit high and deep right field. Preston Tucker has 5 major league home runs. And the Astros lead it 5-1. A little 2-out bases empty run for the club.
You want to know something interesting, Ash?
Yes, I do.
Happy birthday, Preston Tucker.
Yes, sir.
3 hits on his birthday. Now drops a bomb.
You know what else? He's a triple shy of.
Ooh, wouldn't that be a good birthday present? Have a day, kid. Seeing the ball well. Base hit to left. Double to center. Now a home run on this slider or changeup. It might have been the changeup. Middle and down. And you talked about, I believe it was Marwin earlier, how he did a good job of getting on his legs, getting down to that low pitch. But here, Preston Tucker does the same thing and drives it out. Also the 10th hit on the night for the Houston Astros offense.
20 RBIs for Preston Tucker.
Wow. Really?
Kind of a lot going on right there.
Pretty good RBI number.
Carlos Correa has walked and grounded out. Scored a run in that 4-run first. Yeah, you get a leadoff single, then the double play happens. It usually kills any threat in an inning, but that long ball plays very well. The Astros continue to lead in that category. 1-1 on Correa.
The way Correa's night's going, it almost looks as if Carlos Carrasco is focusing on this young man. Picked him out of the lineup, said, I don't want this guy to beat me. Meanwhile, everybody else around him is putting a beating on him.
You think some of the folks in Boston became quickly aware that Carlos Correa can play this game?
Yeah. He was a nemesis in that series for them, that's for sure.
He had a quiet Kansas City series, but against everybody else, very good. He's down on strikes. That'll do it for the Astros in the 4th. But they get that 2-out solo run on home run number 5 by Preston Tucker.
on the mound. This team has leaned on him a lot as he has gone at least 6 innings in his last consecutive 28 consecutive starts. He goes deep into games. His team counts on him to do that. But a couple of starts ago, he actually mentioned how he was getting a little fatigue at the end of his outing. So at this point of the year, he's backed off a little bit in between starts as far as bullpen goes, maybe backing off the long toss. Just knowing his body and knowing his arm and knowing how he feels at this point of the season. Also, A.J. Hinch said today that after the All-Star break, he may not start immediately. And a lot of things will have to be considered for that Midsummer Classic that's coming up for him too, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Good info as always. You know, just as a little comparison, Julia mentioned 28 consecutive starts for Dallas Keuchel with at least 6 innings as the rocket goes into left field. Leadoff single by Carlos Santana. And the Indians starting to swing the bats pretty well against Dallas. But 28 straight with 6 innings or more for Dallas Keuchel. The next closest is a guy who's pretty good. Max Scherzer has 22 consecutive starts of at least 6 innings. So that gives you a nice comparison.
It is real nice.
Nobody out. Yan Gomes at the plate had a double that came with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, his 5th of the year.
Kind of nice to see the Astros offense respond after he gave up that run for the first time in 19 innings. Last inning, the Preston Tucker home run gets him back to that 4-run lead.
Yeah, we might have a nice little story with Preston Tucker tonight.
Man.
Birthday boy with a single, double, and home run.
Only the 4th inning.
See if he gets his track shoes on here in the next inning or so.
He's smart. He'd go over there and talk to Evan Gattis.
How do you pick up a 3-bagger? Evan's got the answer. 0-2 the count on Gomes. It's always tough. Doesn't matter what club you're facing. Comes up and in, gets the strikeout for Dallas. That's number 5. Not picking up a lot of ground ball outs for the moment, but 5 strikeouts helps him out.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. Look at another one of Dallas's great pitches. His slider and changeups have been tough to hit. You see progressively getting better. That number dropping to 194 with that batting average against. Tough time squaring it up, but I'd also attribute that to how well he's pitching with that fastball, because if he's able to locate that fastball on the inside part of the plate to opposing hitters, it makes that changeup that much better.
And that changeup was a big part of what Dallas did last year. But like you say, one without the other probably doesn't do near as much good. Left-hand hitting Brandon Moss at the plate, line to right field. That was that tough catch in right field by Preston Tucker. 0-2 the count. Keuchel immediately gets in front. Brothers or the members of the band?
Separated at birth.
ZZ Top, the guys just never age, do they?
Oh man, they know they're on TV too.
1-2 the count. Indians leader in home runs right there, Brandon Moss. Once upon a time, this ballpark in Cleveland just jam-packed every night. They had quite a string of sellouts. Now last in the league in terms of attendance. Boy, that's close. Haven't mentioned it. Home plate umpire tonight is Mike Estabrook. Dana DeMuth at first. Paul Nauert at third, or rather at second, and down at third, Ed Hickox. 455 consecutive sellouts. That ground ball's fair down the line by Carter. Digging for third is Santana. He's been waved home. He comes to the plate. Tucker just now getting it back in. Fires to third, and everybody's safe. So Santana scores the second Indians run, and all the way into third is Brandon Moss, and we'll see how this is scored.
Kind of curious to see what that ball hit down the line. For whatever reason, it just stopped. Security guard down there with his chair. I guess it's in play. Breaking ball. Moss stays on it, hooks it. Now, Chris Carter may have had a shot at that to knock it down, but you see it rattle around the chair, sit right there. That's what allowed that runner to get in. I think if Preston Tucker can get that ball going past the chair, he might get a little bit quicker.
It is a triple for Brandon Moss. He gets the RBI, and now with one out, 90 feet away. So it's 5-2. This game has gotten more and more interesting. Yeah, with Carter holding at the bag there on Santana, a little surprising to see that ball shoot by him. First triple of the year for Brandon Moss. Quickly 0-2 on Giovanni Urshela. And this would be a big strikeout.
How about a sac fly to third?
Get one of those line drives where the runner comes down the line.
Wouldn't that be a peach?
The 0-2. Urshela, the 8 hitter for the Tribe. Mike Aviles waits on deck. Skies have not yet darkened here in Cleveland. 2-2. And that changeup nowhere close. This downtown in Cleveland is starting to gain momentum more and more now each of the last couple of years.
You're going to head down 4th Street on the way home?
I was thinking 9th might be our path of destruction. 3-2.
I like it.
Is 4th the one that goes right by the basketball arena and all?
I think so. Had some action over there recently, didn't they? Cavaliers had a good season.
I guess they did, yeah. So after getting ahead 0-2 on Urshela, Keuchel winds up walking in. That puts runners at the corners for Mike Aviles. And with the walk, now the possibility of the double play to get out of the inning. I wonder if LeBron plays baseball.
He could probably go out and be a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, he's built like the tight end. Imagine he could play anywhere he wanted. 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
Castro going out, given the 1st and 3rd. Are they going to throw through? Is he going to fake the throw to 2nd, check the runner at 3rd?
You know, the way Castro is thrown, I would think he would throw through.
I agree with you because of Brandon Moss.
Ground ball to short. Correa by himself, 6 unassisted, 3, and the Astros get their first double play, and it comes right when Dallas Keuchel wanted it. That does it for the Tribe. They get a run. It's now 5-2, Houston on top. All to the bullpen. It is the left-hander Nick Hagedorn coming on for the Indians. So only 4 innings for Carlos Carrasco tonight.
Made a ton of appearances already. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 90-mile-an-hour cutter, and a curveball. Trying to offset what the Astros have done to the right-hander Carrasco. We go back to the first inning. Evan Gattis getting a fastball, middle down. Drives it back up the middle, doing a good job of using that center part of the diamond. And you can see down and in, he likes it there. And actually does a really good job of hitting that ball back up the middle. Not too many guys can do that, but Evan Gattis really doing a great job of staying up the middle the other way, especially in RBI situations. Those are good numbers, and especially strong and hitting that pitch way up at the top. He can drive that one out of the ballpark easy.
Evan Gattis 1 for 2. Well, there's your good swing. 14 dingers, 51 ribbies.
And how about this? We were just given the hot zone. That's one of them. You can try and stretch that and go a little bit higher. He may just hit it harder.
Hits it sharply but foul. 0-2 the count. Evan Gattis, Colby Rasmus, and Chris Carter for the Astros here in the 5th. That first inning base hit for Evan Gattis snapped a streak. He was 0 for 11 career against the Indians until that hit. I don't think they realize he likes the high stuff.
I saw Gomes set up before the pitch, and I was like, oh boy, this could get interesting.
How's he react to the caveman comments?
Well, he hasn't beat me up yet. It's good news.
That's nice.
Take a chicken thigh and knock me over the head.
Did the bat go through? The appeal down to first base says no.
Everybody at home, I think, would be in agreement.
In unison, no. 1-2 on Evan. Yeah, to go with the other numbers we've talked about, 13 doubles, 4 triples. How about that?
It's awesome.
Again, they come up. It's just not quite high enough is the problem.
You mean Evan saying a little bit higher, and I get it?
Just get that thing up just a bit. You know how you tell the batting practice pitcher?
Man, that's up there.
I'd like to see him in the All-Star game home run hitting contest and see where he's asking for the baseball.
So somewhere around my neck or beard range, I'll be hammering.
That's a right over the top yacker there. Gattis hit his 14th yesterday, the part of the back-to-back with Carlos Correa. Not much room to spare on that shot either. It hit right on the top of the monster in Boston. Down on strikes. They keep going up there and finally get him. 6 strikeouts of Astros hitters.
Got him in that up and in area, but with Carrasco out of the game, we can see what happened. 4 previous starts versus Houston, 22 1/3, 1 earned run. The Astros finally got sick and tired of that. Made the adjustment and dropped 10 hits and 5 earned runs on him. Might be showing a little bit of fatigue from that last outing he had in Tampa Bay. Nonetheless, the Astros taking advantage of some pitches to hit.
Tough pitch on Colby Rasmus. Colby's 2 for 2, has doubled and singled. Hit a little ground ball for that single in the 3rd inning, back up the middle. Kipnis got a glove on it. Not an easy play, but one of those nice infield singles. You know what? I may have that flip. That was Marwin that hit that ground ball. Colby hit the little flare into center field that saw Brantley laying back. A great effort by Kipnis. waving through it. A strikeout of Rasmus. 2 in the inning. 7 on the night of Houston hitters. It'll bring up Chris Carter.
Come out to the St. Arnold's Bar at Minute Maid Park for Baseball on Tap on Friday, July 17th. It kicks off at 4:30 p.m. and features a beer tasting, live music, and a souvenir Astros pint glass to the first 500 fans with an event ticket. For more information, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/baseballontap.
You've been out there a couple of times already this evening, right?
St. Arnold's has got good beer. I would be.
Sounded like a denial.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. 1-0 on Carter. Chris has a sac fly and a strikeout. RBI number 41 back in the first inning. 4-run first inning. Very helpful on this evening. 5-2 the Astros lead. (3-0) the count. By the way, Chad Qualls, who's been on the DL since June 25th, pinched nerve in his neck. He'll begin a rehab assignment tomorrow. That'll be at Corpus Christi, or with the Corpus Christi Club. And a 4-pitch walk. Carter takes his trot on down to first base. With 2 outs, it brings up Marwin Gonzalez. And Scott Feldman made his first rehab start for Corpus last night. Lasted 3 innings, allowed a couple of earned runs. And Scott due back fairly soon now. Marwin is 2 for 2. Strike on the inside edge. St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs underway. Second inning in Chicago. They're scoreless. Minnesota leads in the 3rd inning as they host Baltimore. It's 2-1 Twins. Marwin way in front. 0-2 the count. Atlanta leads at Milwaukee 4-1. They're in the 2nd inning. Toronto quickly on top of Chicago, the White Sox. 3rd inning, 1-0 Blue Jays. The Reds and Nationals tied at 1 in the 4th inning. 1-0 Padres over the Pirates, 5th inning. On the ground, nice play by Hagedorn. He'll get the out. Marwin finally retired as the Astros go down in the 5th inning through 4.5. 5-2 Stros. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. Also got that double jack. Only a jack in the box.
They've got it all. All you got to do is ask Jerry. He knows.
Downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Progressive Field here, where the Astros lead the Indians 5-2 in the 5th inning. Top of the order for the Tribe. Jason Kipnis leads it off, followed by Francisco Lindor and Michael Brantley. How about the season being had by this guy? Did I hear you name him on the All-Star team?
Yes. He is an American League All-Star. Rightfully so.
And really good. 1-1 the count on Kipnis. And now 1-2. A little wicked painting going on that outside edge.
81st game of the year for Jason Kipnis. Had his struggles last year, hit .240. Already has with 6 as many home runs as he hit last year. Being named to the All-Star squad the 2nd time for Kipnis. He was also on that All-Star team in 2013. Lines one back up the middle. His first hit of the night. And it comes leading off here in the 5th inning for the Indians. So they're swinging it pretty well against Dallas Keuchel.
Bit of a hanger and a 2-strike count from Dallas. Seen a couple of those, not nearly as tight as they have been in the past.
We talked about the ridiculous numbers that Dallas Keuchel had been laying on left-hand hitters this year. So base hit by Kipnis. Brandon Moss has a triple driving in a run tonight. Another left-handed bat. It's the shortstop Francisco Lindor at the plate. Well, that was a big double play grounded into by Mike Aviles to end the 4th inning. The Indians had already put a run on the board, had runners at 1st and 3rd after a walk to Urshela. And Aviles hit one to short. Correa took it himself. Here's a ground ball. Could be another double play. 4, 6, and 3, and the Astros get it. Their 2nd of the night, and just as tidy as can be. Started by Altuve, on to Correa.
Go ahead and get used to that.
You think that could happen for years?
Yes. I think it should happen for years. Not easy guys to turn it on either. Good flip, strong arm, gets Lindor speeding down that first baseline, but get used to this. Especially if you can keep Keuchel around too.
Yeah. Two outs, bases empty. Michael Brantley at the plate. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Blummer referred to him as a good hitter, and I would agree. I love just watching him at the plate.
Watch how quiet his load is. Watch how still his head is. Sees the ball a long time.
Ground ball hits the bag at first. Carter bare hands feeds onto Keuchel, and they get the out. There's your casual 3-1. Mix in the bag, and wow, what a play. So 3 hitters come to the plate. That's all it takes in the 5th inning. Astros lead 5-2.
Beautiful day here in Progressive. Astros are leading with 5 runs and over the Cleveland Indians. They've got 10 hits also on top of that. There's a good look at it. Sun setting. Beautiful sky. Increasing chance of hits here for the Houston Astros.
There's a nice forecast. I like that.
Yeah.
That was in effect back in the 1st inning as the Astros put 4 on the board. Jason Castro 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts tonight. We start the 6th inning. Nick Hagedorn on the mound for the Indians as he misses inside. The Astros with 4 in the 1st and 1 in the 4th inning. That the solo home run by Preston Tucker, who is on his birthday 3 for 3 with a single, double, and dinger. Chris Carter makes all the routine plays just as routinely as can be, right?
He better. This was a good one. Skips off the base. Kind of looked like an alley-oop pass. Went up for the one-hand dunk. Big mitts wrapped around that baseball. Nice play.
Got to get on top of that throw a bit more, though, I think.
I agree with you on that.
That's an exciting game.
You can tell, can't you? Just a basket of emotions there in the dugout.
Castro, Marisnik, and Altuve here in the 6th inning. This one is laced into right field. There's your base hit. Castro's 1 for 3. Letting that bat fly.
Looking at the month of July on our upcoming schedule, presented by Progressive. 3 more beautiful evenings here in Cleveland. Good pitching matchups throughout this series before heading down into Tampa Bay for a 3-game set over the weekend, and that will lead us into the All-Star break. 4 days off for the Astros, except for Jose Altuve and Dallas Keuchel, who will be in Cincinnati contributing to that American League team. And back at it, 6-game homestand. Rangers and Boston come in, then a quick 3-game set over that Hall of Fame weekend where Craig Biggio is going to be inducted into that Baseball Hall of Fame.
Indians going to the bullpen. It is Austin Adams. So we'll be back with the Astros on top 5-2.
Time to name that Astro. Brought to you by your local Honda dealer. There you see the clues. Any guesses?
Yeah, that's.
I can tell by the haircut.
Yeah, that's actually an easy one. And one of my great teammates of all time. I would say one of the true leaders that I played with. That term gets overused a lot of times. Not with Ines Cabell.
Explains why he's still in the organization, doing a good job of leading the charge in the front office now. But some of your stories about him are great.
He loved to have fun, and great guy, but he could let you know when you were coming up short too.
Well, that was one of the articles that I did read about Ines, is that he said, you know, he didn't want to be that guy. He just had an ability to be that guy and say things that needed to be said.
First pitch bunted by Jake Marisnick. It'll be a sacrifice bunt, moving Castro into second base. So 1 pitch from Austin Adams and an out here in the inning. But now Castro in scoring position, top of the order, Jose Altuve.
Get a look at Austin Adams. 180 opponent average against, doing a good job. Only his 11th appearance on the season. Already has a save too. But he'll come at you. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got some heat. Changeup, 88 to 90 miles an hour. Also a slider.
He'll pick up his strikeouts. It's not quite translating at 97. 11 strikeouts in 14 innings. Altuve 1 for 3 on the night. Singled in the first inning to get things started, then caught stealing at second. A perfect throw by Yan Gomes to get him. This pitch hammered left center field, back at the wall, and this is off the wall. That'll score a run easy into second base. Altuve with a dive. He now has a single and a double and a ribby, and the Astros are on top 6-2. And we've already mentioned the 14-game hitting streak that Jose Altuve is dragging along.
The Houston hitter, number 20, Preston Tucker.
He's hit 500 since being named an All-Star. High fastball sitting on the cheese. Can't sneak it past this guy. What a great swing. He leaned on that one too. Maybe realizing Castro was at second base, said, I gotta hit this thing out there. I'm kidding, Jason. I'm kidding. He's an RBI machine too. Think about Altuve. He's got great numbers with runners in scoring position.
16th double for Jose. 36th RBI.
Triple.
So you've got your single, double, and home run for Preston Tucker. Happy birthday, young man.
2 other Astro rookies have done it. Why not be the 3rd on your birthday?
Now, guys don't talk to pitchers that have no hitters going along when they're in the dugout. In most cases, do they talk about the possibility of the cycle?
Yeah, you talk about it. How about GW? 69 today. You know what else? The Dalai Lama turned 80 today.
Got that going for him.
He's a big hitter, which is nice.
He'll stiff you in the end, though, right? 1 out, a run in here in the 6th. 6-2 Houston. Base hit into left field. 4 for 4 is Preston Tucker. Here comes Altuve. And when he touches home plate, it'll be 7-2 Houston. Preston Tucker, 4 hits, 2 RBIs on his birthday. Still no cycle, but I think he'll take it.
Yeah, I guess he's just going to have to settle for that. Just an RBI base hit. The way this is going, he might get a couple more at bats, but in the first 4, he is absolutely raking the ball. No answers from the Cleveland Indians trying to get Preston Tucker out.
See how he stayed on top of that one?
That was beautiful.
And Altuve just streaking it on home. Yeah, the Astros have put 2 on the board here in the 6th inning, and it suddenly feels a lot more comfortable. Can't say I ever remember having a birthday be a time when a big night would come playing this game, but for Preston Tucker, his first year in the big leagues, well, he's setting quite a trend. Right off the fist, ground ball to short. Lindor onto Kipnis, and they try to get the double play, can't get it. It's a force play. 2nd out as Tucker's erased 6-4. It'll bring up the cleanup man, Evan Gattis.
Well, the Indians are getting in the kitchen of Carlos Correa. And it's okay today because he did a great job of getting Astros into those games and ahead in some of those games in Boston. Right now he's getting some help from his friends on that lineup. Can't do it every night.
13 Houston hits, and Carlos Correa doesn't own a single one of them. I think you'd lose a few bets on that one.
Yeah, there's some shocked fantasy owners out there right now going, what?
Carlos Correa and Chris Carter, the only 2 in this lineup without a hit. Gattis takes a strike. I didn't anticipate this with Carlos Carrasco pitching for the Indians. Here you are in the 6th inning and 7 runs on the board, 13 hits. Runner goes as the pitch is fouled. 98 on the heater.
Well, how about just the resiliency? I mean, we keep saying it over and over. It's because we get to see it on a daily basis. But this is a young ball club. Some veterans mixed in there. A.J. Hinch, first-year manager for the Astros, going out there and keeping these guys engaged every game they go out there. They have they do such a good job of erasing what has happened the day before, good or bad.
Certainly a great way to start a series here in Cleveland. And again, especially after the way things wound up in Boston, losing 2 of 3. Close pitch. It's 1-2 on Evan. Four hitters in the Astros lineup already with multiple hits. Altuve, Tucker, Rasmus, and Marwin Gonzalez. Really a perfect night in Cleveland. Carlos Correa always a threat to run. For Dallas Keuchel, through his 5 innings, 79 pitches tonight. 51 have been strikes. That ERA has jumped up a bit, 2.09 for the moment. There goes Correa, pitch hit through the right side, and moving on to third base, Correa. Well, that's nice work by Evan Gattis. 14th Houston hit of the night.
It is beautiful. Talked about how well he goes up the middle the other way. It showed you some of those hot zones. But this ball at 97, that's pretty much all you want to do with it. If you get on that outside corner, just go with it. That is some kind of special. That's the way things are going right now tonight for the Houston Astros.
You think Gattis was thinking that way at all, or did it just happen?
Yes. No, I think he's thinking that way, but the pitch allowed him to make an easy decision just to go with it. Because I think in the at-bats I've seen him since April 26th is really trying to force that ball in the right center field gap.
It is not Colby Rasmus's birthday, but he's looking for his 3rd knock of the evening. Pick up a ribby in the process wouldn't be bad.
And the Astros are 5 for 7 so far in this game with runners in scoring position.
Line shot right center field. There you go. 3rd hit of the night. RBI in the process. 8-2 Houston. And they're starting to have some fun now.
Keep piling on. We always talk about it, you and I, being ex-hitters. Get that first hit out of the way, get the next one. Get that second hit out of the way, be greedy and go get you some more. Doesn't have to be ripped. Sometimes we've seen Colby rip one. Now he's just fight this off. A couple of drop shots today, leads to 2 hits, an RBI.
RBIs 27 and 28 for Colby tonight. Still 2 outs. Chris Carter comes to the plate. Hitter number 8 here in the 6th inning. Austin Adams has, as we can see with the fastball numbers, a very good arm, but the Astros aren't treating him very well here in the inning. 99 on that heat.
Yeah, he's got an explosive arm.
Why is it that some guys can run out there with that kind of stuff and give it up?
Natural ability that we don't have.
I see. Jeff Manship gets it loose for the try. One and one the count.
Tell you what, there's some guys you get ready, maybe 95, but against Adams, you got to find that extra gear. My goodness.
Don't know if the terminology is still the same today, but guys in the dugout used to always say, turn up the dial. 1-2 now on Chris.
How about the Indians bullpen is actually 4th in the American League with a 3.11 ERA. I'm doing all right.
It's going to take a hit tonight.
We're going to get to see most of them too, I think.
Yeah, if you're Terry Francona, you'd love to have your long guy go out there and finish things up. Doesn't always work out that way. Then you have to start spreading it around not too heavily. When you talk bullpens in the American League, Kansas City has led all year long. Then it's Houston, Baltimore, and Cleveland. 2-2 on Chris. Worst bullpen in the league, and that's kind of been shuffling around recently, but Texas Rangers now have the honor. And that might explain what's been going on with the Rangers in recent games. What do you think that conversation's about?
Probably telling him where to hit the next pitch he sees out there in the bullpen. Smiles all around.
laughers can become difficult to come by for a club. When you get them, boy, it just feels so good. Loosen up and let it fly. I don't know if we're in a laugher yet, but starting to feel that way with 15 hits on the board.
15 hits.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's only the 6th inning.
Imagine Dallas Keuchel doesn't feel like it's a laugher yet. Carter down on strikes. Second time for him tonight. That'll do it for the Astros. They put 3 more on the board and enjoy a 8-2 lead.
Off against their in-state rivals, the Rangers, in a 3-game series July 17th through the 19th. On Friday the 17th, 10,000 fans will receive a replica silver boot presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For tickets, call 1-8779-ASTROS or visit astros.com. That should be an excellent series for the fans to come out and see. We haven't seen the Rangers in a long time. Check out the Astros, still leading the American League West, but it's getting interesting, guys.
Angels have been playing good baseball, and it is interesting. The Astros trying to make it less so as they go out and pound away on the Indians, leading 8-2. As the pitch is grounded foul. Plummer, you and I were just chatting about with this 8-2 lead, how much longer does AJ go with Dallas Keuchel tonight, and the talk about maybe not using him coming out of the All-Star break that first time through. I guess a lot to be considered.
There's a lot to be considered. And we saw in the last couple innings location become an issue. Some of the pitches in the strike zone, but really good pitches to hit, and the Indians getting a piece of them. Gets through this inning, he'll qualify for that quality start and that stretch of 6-inning games that he's got going. But I'm sure a lot depends on this inning. If he breezes through this, he may go out there for that 7th. But if it becomes a little bit of a struggle, maybe begrudgingly come out of this game.
2-2 count.
Got to protect the guy a little bit. I know he's a warrior and wants to go out there and pitch. I think somebody said 240 innings this year. But you're a little more valuable to the team when you are pitching in your regular spot in the rotation. Well, that's not our decision. That's AJ's.
We say thankfully.
Yes. Because I'd have Keuchel going on 2 days rest. Burn him out.
Dallas Keuchel last year landed right on 200 innings. So if he increases to 240-ish this year.
Could you imagine? I have to look at some numbers and see if anybody's one of the highest totals in the last couple of years.
Numbers are so different today than they used to be back in, say, the 70s, for example.
So true.
We were kind of musing about the ERA of Zach Greinke in the National League. I think we were talking about it yesterday. Bob Gibson once put up a 1.12 ERA.
Excuse me?
Insane, huh?
That is ridiculous.
Zach Greinke, I think it was 140 something.
Yeah, he was under the 1.5.
Battling here, trying to get the first out in the 6th. Strike 3 called at the knees. Rayburn caught looking. Third time he goes down on strikes tonight. And the first out here in the inning. Houston Methodist helps us get to know Cleveland Indians legend Bob Feller. Rapid Robert signed with the Indians at age 16 for $1. Come on, get out of here. And an autographed baseball. Those are those stories you just tell. First major league player to enlist in World War II. Wow. And the family farm is on National Registry of Historic Places.
They're going to have to explain that. We got the lowdown.
Carl Patterson was telling us today that that family farm is the site of the movie
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But that adds to the legend.
Okay, so it wasn't the site. It was the kind of what the movie was based on about I guess the type of site on a farm and all that sort of thing. But
well, his dad had a corn crop, changed it to a less a crop that was easier to work. So it allowed his son Bob Feller to go out there and play baseball a little bit more often, but he also built a baseball field for Bob Feller to go out there and work on his game.
Sworn into the Navy by world boxing champion Gene Tunney. What's going on?
Well, this guy's a legend. He's done everything.
Who wrote this story? Served in the Navy for 3 years. That's a strikeout, by the way, of Carlos Santana.
You see that?
279 complete games. I don't know if any of today's players are going to get to 279 complete games.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of guys that just want to start 279 games in the big leagues.
I was going to say in the next 1,000 years.
Holy cow.
Guys right now are winning the most complete games in a season. What did Keuchel had last year? 5, I think.
We can look it up.
I mean, that's ludicrous.
He's got 9 career complete games. Dallas Keuchel does.
And how many last year?
I would have to dig deep.
Anyway, 279 complete games. It's really a different world than the guys are playing in Major League Baseball today.
Going back to that Gibson year, Jerry Lane, not the umpire, tweeted me, said he only lost 7 games that year. 25-7. How'd he lose?
Yeah, how did he lose? 1.12 ERA. That was
at your offense.
That was the year when they decided at the end of the year they had to bring the mound down.
Because of one guy.
Dallas Keuchel had 3 complete games last year. That was one of 3 pitchers that had 3 complete games, and that was the most in the big league. So how many years would that take you to get to 279? As this one is rocketed down the left field side. Second extra base hit of the night for Yan Gomes. And the second time he's done it with 2 outs. Double number 6 for Gomes. He's there for Brandon Moss.
To answer your question, 93 years.
93 years. Okay.
Plenty of game left.
All left-handers. Mark Price or Mark Burley and David Price, along with
Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer, the right-hander in there.
Be a pretty good staff if you could rein them in with some big contracts.
Think you could pull that off? Brandon Moss drills one into right field. Here comes Gomes to the plate. He'll score without a throw. So back-to-back hits here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And Keuchel yields a 3rd run to the Indians after striking out the first 2 in the inning. And the left-hand hitters have had some success against Dallas tonight.
Yeah, they actually have. Credit the Cleveland Indians offense for not giving up, continuing to put together good at bats. 2-out RBI right there for Moss.
Well, now that we're talking about complete games, why don't we talk about the king of them all, y'all? Cy Young.
How many?
749 complete games. Finish what you start, young man.
Oh, come on. Was there anybody else on the team? Oh my, what good old Pud.
How do you become known in life as Pud?
That's what I used to call my glove.
That's right. That's what we all called him. Yeah, when we got those old worn out gloves that were just like darlings for us that we wanted to keep
get
forever.
rid of. Yeah.
That was your Pud. (8-3) the Astros lead it, not in that Lafford territory yet. And Joe Thatcher gets it loose. Looks like he's endeavoring to loosen it up very quickly.
You had to have a pretty good name to go along with all your complete games.
Cy Young, that was kind of tame for those days.
It really was, especially when you get down to number 58. Pretzels Getzian.
Say what?
Yeah. Number 58 on the complete game list. Pretzels Getzian.
I have to say, that's a name I've never heard of.
I didn't know Pretzels gets you into anything.
Cy Young grew up just about a mile and a half south of Cleveland. Dallas Keuchel gets out of the inning. He strikes out the side, but in between, a double and a single put a run on the board. It's 8-3 now. Astros lead it.
Host clients or bring out your church or youth sports team to Minute Maid Park with Astros group tickets. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/groups to reserve your group today.
Astros fans having some fun.
There's quite a few out here in Cleveland. It's good to see. Jump on that bandwagon.
Indians go to the bullpen once again. Their fourth pitcher of the night is Jeff Manship. By the way, I got a tweet. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. Pud.
Oh, it's good.
That scares me a bit.
I didn't want to know what we called our gloves. We'll look at Jeff Manship just into this game. Got rid of the flamethrower Adams. 5th appearance on the season for Manship.
Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 3. Couple of singles. He's driven in a run. Gets that start at third base tonight and just keeps producing. Drives one right center field. This is deep. Going back is Moss. He's looking up. This is out of here. Marwin Gonzalez goes yard and tacks on another run for the Astros. They lead it 9-3. And for Marwin Gonzalez, that's his 6th long ball of the year.
Now batting for Houston, number 15, Jason Castro.
Not bad, Marwin. You know who's taking full credit for this, right?
AJ?
AJ, of course. That's your job as a role player, is to go out there and make your manager look like a genius for putting you in that lineup. Meanwhile, you're racking up some personal numbers. Great swing by Marwin on a great night.
Yeah, we've been talking about how well Marwin's been swinging from the right side, but apparently it's all clicking for the moment.
See him in there telling Altuve what he's got. He's got a sinker. Threw me 2 sinkers. And then he said, it's good hitting. Just put him in my book.
Marwin's got 20 ribbies now. Just inside, it's 3-0 on Castro. Struck out his first couple of at-bats and then drilled one into right field for a hit. That came in the 6th inning. Came around to score the first of 3 runs in that inning. A lot of love going around. Ground ball hit to first. Santana makes the play. He takes it to the bag himself. First out of the inning. Let's take a look at that long ball swing.
Fastball elevated out off the plate. How about that? Marwin going out to round this thing. Good pop.
2 home runs for the Astros as a team tonight. The other one hit by Preston Tucker. The Astros now with 120 home runs. It's game number 85. Not a bad pace. Jake's 1 for 2. Haven't needed him scaling any walls tonight. There's Preston.
He deserves a night off.
Very happy birthday.
Teammates are chipping in to make it a memorable one.
Resnick down on strikes. 2 down here in the 7th. And now Jose Altuve stands in 2 for 4. Has extended the hitting streak to 14.
Number 27, Jose Altuve.
Yeah, the Astros, Blummer, are 1 strikeout away from having one of those double-digit strikeout nights and all the offense.
That's what they do. You said that they would take the strikeouts for some of the offensive production. Seen them do it plenty of times before. How about Altuve multi-hit game, Tucker multi-hit game, Gaddis multi-hit game, Rasmus multi-hit game, Marwin Gonzalez multi-hit game. It's kind of cool. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, fellas. Some big nights.
Yeah, you want to go multi though. You want 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah.
I used to have a teammate, Oscar Gamble, used to tell guys, he'd walk up and say, I won't even try to imitate him, but he'd say, let's get 5 hits between us. I'll get 4, you get 1.
Learn how to share.
That was what he considered sharing.
Gave you 1.
Yeah. You know, that stats column stuff doesn't end when you lead 9-3. Altuve draws a walk as he gets on base.
Guess what? It's time for our TXU Energy Power Player of the Game. Guess who? Birthday boy Preston Tucker shoots one the other way in that first at bat, and that's what started everything. Fastball out of the plate, gets extended, rips it over the head of Michael Brantley. And this one, change up down, goes down and gets it with those knees, drives through it. Good time bomb on the afternoon. It has been going really well for that young man who was a year older today.
You know what Preston reminds me of? We've said it before, though. Reggie Jackson on that
going down to that knee,
drop a knee thing. We need some good footage of Reggie Jackson hitting a home run
and the bat flip.
Reggie?
Oh yeah. You knew a little something about showmanship.
Yeah. Altuve aboard, 2 outs, not being held on. The Astros leading at 9-3. You know, Preston Tucker could be one of those real sneaky finds, developing as a good-looking hitter with a lot of power. Don't know that he was on anybody's radar coming out of spring training this year. Knew there was a guy in the minor leagues that could hit with some power. Sometimes I think a lot of the times it takes a guy like this that steps in, nobody knew much about him, and then he turns into a really good major league player.
Well, how about Springer going on the DL? And granted, it's only 1 game, but it's turned into a group effort. Carlos Correa picked the Astros up in the last couple games in Boston, but here today it's a multi-person effort.
Ground ball up the middle. Kipnis makes the play onto first. That'll do it as they finally get Tucker. The Astros get a run on that bomb hit by Marwin Gonzalez. 9-3 Houston.
Cleveland Indians with those 16 hits, and this pitching performance is powered by Kubota. Dallas Keuchel on the evening, qualifying for that quality start again, going 6 strong innings. Didn't have his best stuff, but able to pitch quite well. Usually you see him pitching to that contact, getting a lot of ground balls. Not today. 5 ground balls, 2 flyouts, but 8 punch outs on the evening. With those 3 runs given up over the last 6 innings, his ERA actually jumps to 2.14. Not his best stuff, but still a fantastic effort from Dallas Keuchel. All-star Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, there you go. What would you anticipate? Is it time now for 3 guys to come out of the bullpen and pitch an inning? Thatcher starting that?
Yeah. Why not? Don't burn them out. Give them some time. Fouch getting that 32nd appearance. The last number's pretty good. Only one run allowed since May 21st.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Joe Thatcher will face the 9, 1, and 2 spots. Mike Aviles leads it off. Has singled and grounded into a double play. That was a big one. In the 4th inning, it was a 5-2 game. The Indians had runners at first and third, 1 out. Aviles grounded into a double play started by Carlos Correa, and it got Dallas Keuchel out of the inning, and it kept it that 3-run lead. It didn't turn into a 5-3 game or anything beyond there. That Astros bullpen had a bit of a rough go in the 3 days in Boston.
Yeah, 12 hits are a lot, but they're a lot bigger hits when you have allowed those 8 walks in front of them. Brian McTaggart tweeting out some of the stuff that we had been talking about. 14th quality start and 29th in a row of at least 6 innings pitched.
Two and 2 the count. Mike Aviles leading off the 7th inning. Should the Astros hang on and win this one, it will be win number 49, and they would get back to 13 games over 500. 14 over 500 has been the high water mark on the year. If you can get to 13, 14 games over 500, play it out the rest of the year at 500, finish at that mark, would you anticipate that that's enough to win the division?
It would be interesting to see. I think it would, considering how this division beats up on itself.
Yeah, it's not a locked number. And the Angels have played well. Leadoff walk to Aviles. It brings up Jason Kipnis.
It would give you 94 wins on the season, and I think that would be darn near incredible.
Generally, that's enough to win. And I don't see anybody in the division being better than 94 wins, do you, right now?
No.
I'm starting to question that number. 14 games over 500. Yeah, I'm starting to. It doesn't mean 81 losses. It means 60 or 74 losses, and 88 wins would be 14 over 500. 88 and 74.
Huh?
No?
Excuse me?
So
500 balls, 81 and 81.
Correct. But once you win one more, you go to 82 wins and 80 losses.
Oh, okay.
So you play both ways on that. So it would be 88 and 74 would be 14 games over.
I'd be a little more comfortable with the 90 wins.
Yeah. 88 wins is a bit dicey to try to win the division. Kipnis swings through it. He's down on strikes. First out here in the 7th inning. Which is probably why you just, if you're A.J. Hinch, you just keep plugging, saying, okay, it's a new day. Let's go play our best baseball today.
That really seems to be his approach, too. 71 wins last year, 70 wins.
Yeah.
Still a remarkable
improvement. I think it was
70
because it was 51 the year before. They
19.
Improved it by 19. Now, most people had been talking about 2016-17 maybe is being the time when it happens.
Good grief. It's a unique delivery from Joe Thatcher.
Nine runs, 16 hits for Houston. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Indians. Tomorrow night, Vince Velasquez goes up against Corey Kluber. So you know it doesn't get any easier.
It's kind of how the series started out in Boston.
The Astros won the first of 3 there.
A lot of hits, a lot of runs.
Sharply hit ground ball past Correa into left field. A walk and a single with 1 out, have runners at first and second. And it brings up the 3-hitter Michael Brantley. Francisco Lindor with that base hit. Brantley is a quiet 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. All of that against Keuchel. He's got such a nice approach. It just doesn't look like he gets phased a lot by left-hand pitching. For Keuchel, yielding the 3 earnings tonight in 6 innings, ERA at 2.14. Brantley takes another strike, 0-2. Pat Neshek gets it loose in the Astros pen. We were talking about probably 3 guys trying to pick up an inning each.
Well, you want him to pick up that inning, but you don't want that pitch count to get out of control, because that'll shut him down for tomorrow. I'd like Thatcher to be a little more efficient.
Right in the heart of the order for the Indians, 3-4. Michael Brantley and Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn, however, 0 for 3 with 3 punchouts.
Nice play.
Yeah, that delivery of Thatcher can lead to some pitches that are way out of the strike zone either direction. Trying to quickly run through in my head. If you got to 94 wins, I think you'd be 26 over 500 at the end of the season.
I'm tapping out.
Don't do that too early now.
No, I'm on the ex-ball player AJ Hinch program where you go day to day.
Yeah.
I'm not a projector. I'm not a math doer.
So you didn't graduate in math doing?
Oh, I could maybe figure out a batting average now and then, but I'm not figuring out wins and losses and winning percentages, that's for sure.
Brantley stays alive. It's 3-2.
My application at Fangraphs got denied.
So if we said 81 is that midway point, you go 81 and 81, you play 500. You go.
I'm going to be on the computer, Ash.
You go 13, and I'll just talk to myself. 13 games over the 81 would be 94, and that would sink 13 on the losing side. And so, yeah, I think you'd be 26 games over 500 to get to 94 wins. And again, Brantley stays alive.
Did you know that more people die from coconuts falling and hitting them in the head than shark attacks?
So beware of walking under coconut trees and go ahead and have a nice swim, huh?
There you go. Yeah, don't fear the ocean. It's Shark Week.
Man, they've had sharks all over the place this year. I got to watching a terrible shark show on the flight yesterday from Boston.
Terrible.
Oh,
fascinating.
Great white sharks. I see nothing great about them.
We've heard about great toes in today's game.
Powerful devices. Brantley just keeps fouling them off. 3-2. One out here in the inning. Not an easy inning at all for Joe Thatcher. And ball 4. That's going to load him up. And Ryan Rayburn comes to the plate. It also brings out A.J. Hinch. And with the right hand hitting Rayburn coming to the plate, A.J. says that's enough from Joe Thatcher. Hinch goes to the bullpen, and he'll bring on Pat Neshek. So it's 9-3, but A.J. Hinch wants to keep it somewhere close to that number here in the 7th inning. So we'll be right back. 9-3 Houston.
But before we get to that, I want to help the guys out in the booth who are doing some serious math up there.
There's nothing serious about math.
Oh, come on. Well, we were talking about the Astros, and Fangraphs is projecting the Astros to win the division, but by playing 500 ball from here on out. Okay, so they would have to go 39-39 according to Fangraphs. So that would make 87 wins. Was all that they would need to win the AL West.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, that's
not the number, but the 87 wins.
It's a projection.
I would like to see.
Well, that would be 12 games over, which is where they are right now. Is that right?
Okay, that's a lot of math.
Yeah. See, you're dropping out, aren't you? Yeah, you're right. That would be the figure playing 500 starting with tonight's game. There's Pat Neshek. I think he's already figured out all the numbers. I don't know. I'd love to see the team win more games than that when it's all said and done.
I agree.
All you can do is get one on any given day. And the Astros are trying to do that tonight. Neshek gets a strike as the Indians go to their bench. And they bring up David Murphy. Longtime hitter in the major leagues, hitting .281, having a nice season. It's gotten a little dicier here in the 7th inning than I think A.J. Hinch had intended, or hoped anyway. Angels 3 back.
It's actually a pretty simple equation if you think about it. Beat this team right here. Just have more wins than they do. Well, we could have more wins than everybody else in the division and not even worry about it.
We saw the Rangers surge for quite a while. Fly ball left field. This is going to be an out, but it's going to produce a run. Colby makes the catch. Tagging and scoring from third base is Mike Aviles. And now it's 9-4. The Astros lead it 2 outs here in the 7th. But Neshek comes on and gets an out. Sacrifice fly for David Murphy.
We saw the numbers on the Astros bullpen in that Boston series with those 8 walks. Here early in this game, they've come in and walked 2 already from Joe Thatcher. So good to see Neshek coming in and throwing strikes.
Carlos Santana at the plate. 0-1 the count. But that's 67 miles an hour. The moment on color challenged here, Blummer.
That's not good.
Pretty good looking pitch. Castro hung on and didn't get the call. Shift on, 3 infielders on the right side. Santana's switch hitter. He's had struggling season, hitting .208. He takes a strike. Santana doesn't like that call at all.
Well, you had mentioned the pitch before looked pretty good. Might have been a makeup call for that one.
$13,516 on hand tonight. Santana's 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the 4th inning and scored. That was the second Cleveland run. And that was the inning that ended with that double play started by Carlos Correa. The Astros have turned 2 double plays tonight. The Indians have turned 1 themselves. Ground ball back past the mound. Correa makes the play on to first, and that'll do it. So Pat Neshek comes on and gets the job done. The Indians score a run. It's 9-4.
Picked him up big time. First home run at Fenway Park for Carlos Correa. Put the Astros in a tie in that game. Came back with a big base hit later to drive in a go-ahead run. This one right here tied that ball game up again. It seemed hopeless until that young man stepped into the box with runners on.
Most hits by a shortstop through 25 games. And not a bad list right there. Harvey Keene was a batting champion, I believe.
That was the most recent one, Harvey Keene. I mean, when you're going back this far in history, you're doing something special.
These other guys must have had some nicknames, right? Pud Sissel.
Well, Red Crest could have been Red Hot Crest.
We go to the 8th inning. And it's Carlos Correa at the plate. Carlos has been tied up tonight. He's drawn a walk and scored a couple of runs. 0 for 3 on the evening. Jeff Manship still on the mound for the Tribe. Indians have activity going on in their bullpen. Zach McAllister is loosening. Hit in the air to center field. Brantley goes back. He tracks this one. And out number 1. 0 for 4 on the night for Carlos. With 1 out, it brings up Evan Gattis. Gattis has a pair of hits. 2 singles and RBI. In between a couple of strikeouts. Instead, the Astros go to the bench and send John Singleton to the plate. So Evan Gattis has a nice night. John Singleton hitting .158. Looking for his first home run of the year. 3 RBIs. Just 21 plate appearances, 19 at bats. Pretty quiet crowd on hand at the moment here in Cleveland. One and 2 on Big John.
It's a little bit different movement from John. See the leg come up and the hands kind of drop down a little bit, trying to create some movement to get those hands back in a good ready position. It's a little more of a leg kick than we're used to seeing from John.
Palms down at third base. Singleton stays alive. It's 2-2. Down on strikes though, second out in the inning, and that is 10 strikeouts now of Astros hitters.
Here's a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup presented by Chevron. Care for your car. Vince Velasquez yet to record a win or a loss. 5 straight no decisions to start his career, going up against reigning Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber. 17 starts. What do you got on that record? 3-9, Ash.
I'd call that 6 games under 500. You going to go along with that?
If you say so.
Or are you going to bail?
That one's a little bit easier. I don't understand this bail thing. I told you I'm not good at math, so I'm not going to do it.
Obi Rasmus has himself 3 hits in 4 at-bats and hits a fly ball to left field. Aviles eventually tracks it, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning. Astros big on top.
Have fun and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserve your luxury suite today. Ashby mentioned this earlier, but Chad Qualls could be activated as soon as this Friday. He headed out today, actually, played some catch here on the field in Cleveland, but got on a plane as he will join Springfield to do a rehab assignment tomorrow with the Corpus Christi Hooks. Like I said, he could join the team this weekend in Tampa, so that's pretty soon. Scott Feldman also making the rehab start last night. Through 3 innings, 62 pitches, a lot of pitches for few innings, but by the 3rd inning, AJ Hinch said he was getting good reports on shaking off the rust. The cutter was looking good, so in 5 days he'll have another rehab start, but he is getting close, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Yan Gomes leads off, and he'll do it against pitcher number 4 on the night for Houston. Josh Fields comes to the game.
Yikes, looking to turn that bottom line around. A little bit more comfortable situation here right now with the 5-run lead.
Yeah, the Astros putting 9 runs on the board tonight, and sometimes that's enough to turn into a laugher, but the Indians have kept it somewhat close. Broken bat ground ball left side. Correa ranges wide to his left to make the play. 1 pitch, 1 out for Josh Fields. It's been Dallas Keuchel, Joe Thatcher, Pat Neshek, and now Josh Fields. Hector Carrasco, or rather Carlos Carrasco, got roughed up for the Indians. 4 innings, 10 hits, and 5 earnings against him. 4.17 his ERA now. That's a 10-game winner. What do we figure? Dallas Keuchel has 1 more start before the All-Star break?
Possibly.
Could happen in Tampa Bay.
It would have to happen in Tampa Bay.
Brandon Moss has a couple of hits. The only time the Astros got him, he lined out to right field. Turned into a tough play for Preston Tucker. Nothing has really been tough for Preston tonight, though. 4 hits on his birthday. A couple of singles, a double, a dinger. Fly ball to center. Jake Marisnick. And 2 outs in the 8th inning.
So far, so good for Josh Fields. You're going to have those tough stretches out of the bullpen, starting rotation, whatever it may be. It seemed like the Astros just ran into a buzzsaw out there in Boston. Every time they had an answer, Boston's offense came back with a better answer. But here, hopefully trying to turn things around. It's good to get these guys out there and try and get them that work that will get them that confidence back.
Giovanni Urshela is 1 for 2. He's also walked. That one hit a double back in the third. One of the 9 strikeouts picked up by Houston pitching. Just in his 25th game. Skies one to right center. Preston Tucker calling. And makes the catch. Couple of fly balls to go the ground ball. A 1-2-3 inning for Josh Fields. It's 9-4 Houston. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Nice night in Cleveland, and the Astros enjoying it, leading 9-4. Changes for the Indians. They've got a new catcher. That is Roberto Perez. They've also got a new right-hander on the mound. Zach McAllister takes over.
Zach making his 31st appearance. He's got a start on the year. He's doing a good job of late too. Last run he allowed was June 7th against the Orioles. He's got a fastball. These guys are throwing hard out of that Cleveland Indians bullpen. 95 miles an hour he's averaging on the heater. Got a split finger, cutter, curveball. May need them all the way the Astros are swinging the bat.
16 hits on the night for Houston. 9 runs on the board. They scored 4 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth, 1 more in the seventh. The Astros have hit 2 home runs. Preston Tucker and Marwin Gonzalez the culprits. First pitch, a strike from McAllister. 120 long balls on the year for the major league leading team.
Did Julia have any news on Jed Lowry?
I heard nothing there.
I mean, there's a lot of guys on the DL working their way back. But I just know that, you know, with Jed Lowry and the way he was swinging the bat, getting his bat back in the lineup, George Springer hopefully by the end of the year coming back, create some depth, move some guys around.
What happens when Jed Lowry comes back?
It's a good question. He's a good athlete and he's versatile. He can pick it on defense.
He was playing well before he went down, no question.
Yeah. And you would like to say with Jed playing as well as he was at shortstop, swinging the bat and playing defense, you would say under normal circumstances that you would let him have that shortstop job back. But we are in a unique situation now with Carlos Correa here. And I'm going to give you the Maykill big hit of the game. It's going to be Marwin Gonzalez, one of those guys who can play all over the infield. But he also brings that stick to the yard every now and then. And this one he launched into right center field. Quite nicely at Progressive Field. He gets himself a little dance in the dugout. And he gets a home run shower. Big night for Marwin as well as some other guys in the Astros lineup.
11 strikeouts now of Astros hitters, but doesn't matter a bit when you put 9 runs on the board. Marwin's had a big night, 3 for 4, including the home run in the 7th inning, his 6th on the season. Both teams utilizing their bullpens. It wasn't the sharpest night for Dallas Keuchel, and yet he stands to win his 11th. Wins would put Keuchel in the lead in the American League. Started the night tied with Felix Hernandez and Carlos Carrasco. Yeah, you see Luis Valbuena, who's put up an intriguing set of numbers at third base this year.
Really has. Batting average down, but production up.
Marwin strikes out. 12 on the night.
Now stepping to the plate for the Astros.
Zach McAllister bringing some high cheddar. And now Jason Castro will stand in. The Astros start the night 3 games in front in the American League West. The Angels have been applying the pressure. They've won 3 straight starting play today. Seattle's underway. They host the Tigers. That's scoreless in the first inning. Drive to right field. Hit well, but Moss is there. And a 1-2-3 ninth inning for the Astros. To the bottom of the 9th we go. The Astros trying to protect this 9-4 lead.
And this moment in history is brought to you by M.D. Anderson. 72 years ago today, the first ever All-Star game was played at Chicago's Comiskey Park. 38-year-old Babe Ruth provided the fireworks with a 2-run home run off Wild Bill Hallahan. That helped the American League to a 4-2 win. Well, the Astros are going to have a couple of All-Stars here next week, Jose Altuve being one of them. That was announced to the team yesterday on the plane. Really cool moment as the team was able to show their respect and their gratitude for everything Jose Altuve has done for this team this year. It was good to talk to some of his teammates today, though. George Springer, Jake Marisnick, talking about how Altuve, as young as he is, has helped mold this team into what it is. All these young players that have come up throughout the years have leaned on Altuve in some way or another. And Springer saying this guy is way more than stats. He does so much for the Astros.
That he does, and he's also swinging a nice bat heading toward the All-Star break. 14 consecutive games hit in, 2 more hits tonight. Bottom of the 9th inning, 9-1-2 for these Indians. And Aviles pops one up in foul territory. It's Chris Carter and out number 1.
Now hitting for the Indians, number 22,
Jason Kipnis, the leadoff man, will stand in. 1 for 3 with a sac fly. That produced a ribby, and number 36 for Kipnis. It's been a really good season to this point for the Indians' second sacker. Nice curveball from Fields. 0-1 the count. 16 hits for Houston, 10 for the Indians. That's on a night when Keuchel and Carrasco were the starting pitchers.
Did not anticipate that at all.
I don't think there could have been any way to assume that those numbers would happen.
Both pitchers coming in pretty hot.
Extremely so. Yeah. Kipnis gets tied up. It's 1-2.
Well, Keuchel gave up that run in the 3rd inning, so that gave him 19 straight scoreless innings. .214 the ERA for Dallas. At the start of play,
He was the leader in the league at 2.03. Sonny Gray was at 2.09, second best. Half swing. He goes through. And so Kipnis is down on strikes. 2 down in the ninth. Down to an out. Francisco Lindor will stand in. Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Mike Stent break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist. Boys, got a nice night. By the way, double-digit strikeouts for the Astros staff tonight. That's 10 with the strikeout of Kipnis. Lindor is 2 for 4. Grounded into one of the double plays, the one of 2 tonight turned by the Astros. Win number 49, just 1 out away. And 1 strike away now. 2-2 the count. White Sox have downed the Blue Jays tonight 4-2. In the National League, the Reds defeating Washington 3-2. High fastball got him. 11 strikeouts for Houston pitching, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and win number 49 on the year for the Houston Astros, a game that took 3 hours and 15 minutes on the birthday of Preston Tucker, who got 4 knocks tonight. Well, big night for the club. Dallas Keuchel wins his 11th on the season.